in the following manner. Good evening, presiding officer, Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmaster, and dear guest. So now let me introduce our presiding officer, who is happiness coach and reading is her hobby. Toastmaster Radha, I welcome you on virtual stage.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shweta, for such a warm welcome and understanding of the theme. I welcome everyone to 240th club meeting of Bane Toastmaster Club. I would like to call this meeting to order. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guest. Welcome to Bane Toastmaster Club. I can see that we have a guest here. I would like to request the guest to unmute herself or himself and introduce for 15 seconds. Share the reason why you're here and how you got to know about us.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, myself is Danish Kazi. I'm from Pune basically, and I got to know from Meetup.com. I was thinking to join this club from long time, but I was not getting time and all, so I just got a time here. And I'm graduated in computer engineering from Pune University itself. And right now I'm looking for job actually, and learn to speak properly and with a confidence and all to improve my soft skill.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Tanish. Hold on to your queries. Let's see if the club meets all the inquisitive inquiries that you have about your communication skills. And towards the end, we'll take your feedback. Let me tell you a bit of Toastmasters Club. Toastmaster Club is a self-paced program which is internationally acclaimed, and it has about 364,000 members all across the globe. It has its presence in about 145 countries and about 16,200 plus clubs all across the world. And what it actually does, it allows members to become affluent in public speaking. It builds a good leadership skills, and it is a platform where you can see your personal as well as professional growth. It maximizes your own potential. It gives you for sure networking opportunity if you take up the roles. And foremost, very importantly, it gives you a chance to practice writing your own speech and thereafter presenting them. All of this combination of everything leads to a self-confidence and self-awareness. To get to know more about Toastmasters Club, especially about Bane Toastmaster Club, you can contact our VP membership, Toastmaster Vibha. She has joined today as general evaluator. Her numbers and details are also there in the agenda, which our TMOD will share in the chat box. About the theme.
Okay.
We all have so many blessings in our lives, and yet most of the time we fail to notice them. We don't recognize them properly, or simply we take them for granted. In reality, things have a huge impact on our lives. That's why we should learn to recognize their proper value. Appreciating these little things in our life, what it means basically, it means that you're giving attention to the things that is nurturing you and that is sustaining you in life. Everything that brings even the smallest amount of pleasure is what we call is noticing and appreciating these small things in life. You know how I have noticed that people in the contrary are racing towards a life. For example, if a graduate has just passed out from a university and is looking out for a job, and the moment he secures a job, his next ambition, next desire is to get increment. After he gets increment, the next one is to get promotion. After he gets promotion, his next desire to have a girlfriend, or maybe have a girlfriend right in the beginning if you're one of the lucky one. So you constantly, what's happening from the start, there is no end. There is stack after stack after stack desires for you. And in that race, what you forget, you forget to appreciate all those little things that comes in your way to make this life so beautiful. There are few things that I believe that one need to do to appreciate life in general. Number one is keep a meaningful souvenir from the experience. For example, if you've been to a wedding or somewhere, and you were looking forward to that night, so you get dressed up and everything, and now that the event itself is there, to be in the moment, just relish that memory and take it with you. So to have either a meaningful souvenir or to have that experience itself is one thing. You need to slow down and not rush towards the end. It's not about finishing a task, it's about relishing it and relishing the journey itself. Enter into all the positive experience with all the senses, because this is the one way that humans have interaction with the outside world. All our five senses, like see, hear, touch, taste, and smell, with all of these five senses are awakened, then you can really enjoy what's happening around you. Keep your eye open for all the minute details around you. Lastly, share your experience with others, because that's how you build these positive and inspiring stories, which we like to hear about each other and get inspired. What I did to make myself occupied and to appreciate the life that's given to me, I have challenged myself to take up this volunteering role of XCOM at Bane Toastmaster Club. Being a mother of two boys, I knew the life is going to be tough, and the role is going to be demanding, and it will expect some amount of my time to pour into this. How I took it, that maybe in this process I will learn and grow. Secondly, I will appreciate that this is what it is, this is what I have. And now that I don't have any other big engagements in my life, why don't I appreciate what I have? A group of people, a bunch of people sailing in the same boat and swimming with the right set of people, and holding each other's hand and moving forward. To learn small tools, techniques, and further journey about how to appreciate little things in life, we have our second year engineering student from PICT. He loves watching classic movies or reading a classic book or even TV shows. Let's welcome our host of the evening, Toastmaster Shlok, with a big round of applause.
Thank you, Radha. That was a beautiful introduction. Good evening, presiding officer, fellow Toastmasters, and dear guests. Welcome to another incredible and fun event at the 240th chapter meeting of Barnier Toastmasters Club. I am Toastmaster Shlok, your host for the evening. For today's meeting, we'll be appreciating the little things in life which we might forget. It has been seen in science that being grateful about things makes you happier. As a species, we have evolved to such a state where we prefer luxury over survival, giving us huge appetites for such luxuries. We may just forget these small things which are going on around us. Like, for example, you may forget like what pizza tastes like just the day before, and like things just happen around us and you may not even notice. This kind of thing recently happened to me when I went to a trek to Rajgarh, where even the tiniest details felt like there was a history to it, each speck of dust a story. The nature was filled with immense wonder and it made me want to soak in every single detail. You can always count on exotic places to do this to us, but it's not only exotic places where these little details exist, as even the surroundings around us. have these things. It's just that we don't notice in our everyday life. The more I noticed, the more my wonder grew about these things. So today, let's go on a journey in this meeting and notice these little things. Today's little program, as per usual, is divided into two parts. The first half will consist of prepared speeches. Three speakers will attempt to deliver their speeches based on certain objectives. This is followed by an impromptu speaking session in table topics for Toastmasters and guests. The second half will be for evaluation for prepared speeches, role players' reports, and moments of glory. To aid the meeting in terms of both control and conduct, let's appreciate our role players of the day. Let me start off with our first double role, being both as a sergeant at arms as well as our timer, to keep track of our speeches to the precise timing. Please appreciate Toastmaster Shweta.
Good evening, presiding officer, Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmaster, and dear guest. As a timer, my duty is to time prepared speeches, table topic speeches, and speech evaluations during this meeting. The speakers has 30 seconds grace time before the green or after the red card is displayed to the end speech in order to qualify for the vote. I will report qualifying times when called for. Uh, Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Shweta. That was wonderful. In our second double role for the day, being both our grammarian to keep a check on our language skills and our counter to keep a check on our little mumbles, is a digital marketing manager in an IT company who's a very frequent and friendly member at our club. His little joy is reading books and watching web series, and he believes that small things can make a huge impact. Please welcome Toastmaster Santosh.
Did you dropped off, Toastmaster Santosh?
Dropped off now. Yeah,
Yeah, so we will
I
have
miss you.
your introduction as Ellie. Please.
Okay, yeah, second. Presiding officer, fellow Toastmaster, and dear guest, good evening. As a language evaluator, my responsibility to listen everything that has been said and note and report any effective use of grammar or any grammatical incorrect speech. Apart from this, I have also responsibility to provide word of day and phrase of day. So today, for today meeting, word of day, we, W-E-E, we, it's a meaning very small or little. The huge, you were just a wee lad the last time I saw you. Anybody would like to use we?
Okay, I'll try.
Yeah,
We all have wee bit of anxiety before we speak.
well said. But when you face little bit, even face we in anxiety of the speaking in a Toastmaster, it will help you non-anxiety when you start speaking in public. With that, let me move on my phrase of day. The today phrase of day, count on, and the meaning of it, rely on. The use of it, I am counting on you to complete the project while I am out. So, any would like to use phrase of day?
I count on heaters during winters.
Perfectly. So with this, I finish my introduction and I will report when called for. Over to Toastmaster of Day.
Thanks, Santosh, for clearing that up for us. So, We really appreciate all of our role players for today, especially those who have taken double roles. Before we start with our prepared speeches, let me tell you a memory I have had, which is very dear to me. Back when I was a wee little child in the fourth grade, my school had this huge imli tree. Students would climb this tree or throw stones at the tree just to get these fruits out of it, which I will admit did not make the security guards very happy, as they saw this as a danger both to the students and themselves. This was seen to be a test of skill between the students. There was a sense of pride and happiness which we got when we got a big number of these imlis, all tasting amazing. This unbridled joy in these little moments has really shaped my life. Even today, when I visit my old school, I pick up these imlis just for old time's sake. Does anyone else have such stories about their childhood, about these little things which they would like to share?
Yes. Yeah. So it reminds me of my childhood days. In my city, we are very fond of eating the mangoes. And my father always brought the mango from the market. But as a child, I always interested to go garden of my neighbors and try to pick mango from the tree. And after several time, my neighbors complained my parents that Santosh always come and pick the mango from my tree. So this is something. It's a really make me bring me some kind of the sweet memory nowadays.
I hope you didn't get into much trouble after that, Santosh. Thanks for that, sharing that story. So, moving forward, let us begin. Let us begin with our first section with prepared speeches. Each project has a specific time limit and certain fixed objective. That's why we call it a project. Each project teaches us some aspect of public speaking, such as body language or vocal variety or persuasive skill. The speakers will try to learn various such aspects in their speeches. The first speaker will attempt level 1, project 3 in dynamic leadership. The evaluator for this speech is Toastmaster Tushar. I request Toastmaster Tushar to read out the objectives of the speech.
Just a minute. Would Sonika like to go first? As she asked, if she wants, she can go, I guess.
Oh wait, who wants to go first?
Sonika.
Oh, Sonika
Let's
wants to
carry
go
on
first.
as it is. Now it's too late to make all those changes because
Okay.
then, yeah, let's carry on as it is.
Sure. So the purpose of the speech is for the member to demonstrate that he or she has applied the feedback received from his or her first speech. All the best to my target speaker.
Am I visible and audible in the frame?
You need to come forward a bit.
Yeah.
Your head is cutting off, your eyes especially.
Or maybe a
Or
bit
maybe go back.
back.
Little go back, yeah.
Is that okay?
No.
No, little back,
Back. Yep.
back.
Yes.
Yes, fine.
Am I visible right now?
Yes.
Yes.
So I'll start. Can I see the timer screen? I can't see the timer screen.
You can pin Toastmaster Shweta, Sa. It's reflecting as Sa TM Shweta. Yes.
Yeah. All right, I can see. Just a quick check again. Is this okay? Hello?
Yes.
Yes.
Every morning, I wake up, check my Facebook, Insta, and emails, brush my teeth, take shower, and make breakfast. I do all my household chores with we or no conscious thought. And perhaps You all would have followed somewhat a similar pattern. Ever wondered how people are able to perform their day-to-day routine activities subconsciously? Presiding officer, fellow Toastmasters, Toastmaster of the day, and dear guests, good evening. Automatic behavior triggered by situational cues are termed as habits. Things we do with little or no conscious thought. Habits form the basis of our behavior. Today, what we do, how we behave, what we plan, and what actions we follow to execute those plans are highly influenced by the modern era of technology. Digital technologies such as social networks, online shopping, and games use a set of persuasive and motivational skills with enough frequency to form habits and keep the users returning. Enough frequency to keep the users returning. All these innovations are solving the problems in the form of vitamins or painkillers. Well, why would I compare the solutions with vitamins or painkillers? Let's just understand the difference between these two. Would anyone want to have a guess on that, the difference between vitamins and painkillers? Anyone? Toastmaster Radha?
Yes, it is.
So what's the difference between two, vitamins or painkillers?
Basically, they just kind of hold on to your numbness, the painkillers, whereas vitamins, it enhances it immune your system and makes you more protective.
Okay, got it. So like Toastmaster Radha said, basically painkillers solve an obvious pain point, relieving a specific pain. So it's kind of a ready-made solution available for which people are happy to pay. For example, I need lights in my house. Need to have even more after having seen lights out. On the other side, vitamins do not necessarily solve an obvious pain point. Instead, they appeal to users' emotional rather than physical needs. For example, let's have more enhancing lights. Nice to have, but I won't die if I don't have them. Similarly, when you take a multivitamin each morning, you feel satisfied, thinking you are doing something good to your body, even though you can't tell how much good it is actually doing us. So perhaps painkillers are like painkillers without which we cannot function. Missing a few days of vitamin popping, say while on vacation, is a no big deal. So perhaps basically building painkillers and not vitamins is always the right strategy. No, not so fast. Now that you have understood the difference between these two, let me ask you a follow-up question to test your knowledge. Just consider a few of the most hottest companies like Facebook, Instagram, or Pinterest. What are they selling? Vitamins or painkillers? Anyone?
Vitamins.
Vitamins.
Okay.
I think painkiller.
Okay. Since most of you have guessed it to be vitamins, I suppose you might have thought that users aren't doing much of anything important rather than seeking just a quick boost of social validation. After all, think back to the time before you started using these services. No one ever woke up in the middle of the night screaming, I need something to help me update my status. But like so many things, we did not know we needed them until they became part of our everyday lives. So before making your mind on the vitamin versus painkiller debate For some of the most successful companies, consider this idea. A habit is when not doing an action causes a bit of discomfort. This sensation is similar to an itch, a feeling that is present in our mind, and it's still present there until it is satisfied. The product that we use are simply there to provide some sort of relief, and we have been counting on them since ever. Using a technology or product to scratch that itch provides faster satisfaction rather than ignoring it. So my answer to the vitamin versus painkiller debate question is habit forming technologies are both. They seem at first to be offering nice to have vitamins, but once the habit is established, they provide an ongoing pain remedy. And avoiding pain is the key motivator of all species. When we feel discomfort, we seek to escape the uncomfortable situation. With this, I want you all to reflect upon the product you are working on. When it comes to when it comes to offering the best customer service possible, what is your strategy? Are you building something that is nice to have or something that they need to have? Thank you. Over to TMOD.
That was a wonderful speech. I'm sure to remember about your vitamins and painkillers, and I'm sure you've helped us all to build the right drug with your speech. Let us now pause for 30 seconds to write feedback for this speaker. Please share your feedback privately only to the speaker using the chat feature. Okay, so let us start with the second speech. The second speaker, am I audible? Yeah. The second speaker will attempt level 2 project 1 in persuasive influence. The evaluator for this speech is Toastmaster Jitin. I request Toastmaster Jitin to read out the objectives of the speech.
Hi. The purpose of this project is for the member to identify his or her primary leadership styles. Yeah. The purpose of this speech is also for the member to share some aspect of his or her primary leadership style or discuss the leadership styles in general. All the best, Sonika.
Thanks, Jitin. Can I have a screen sharing access? I will need for the later part of my speech.
Wait. The time allowed is 5 to 7 minutes, meaning the lighting sequence is green at 5 minutes, yellow at 6 minutes, and red at 7 minutes. The buzzer will sound at 7.5 minutes. The speaker is an HR professional who appreciates all the little learnings that life teaches us with great intent. Let's welcome Toastmaster Sonika with her speech, Leadership, a Balanced Mix. Leadership, a Balanced Mix, Toastmaster Sonika.
Sure. Thank you. Do I have screen sharing access?
I think so. Try.
See, just a second. No, I don't have. You cannot start screen share. Okay, I think the timer screen
Radha,
is already
I think,
there.
yeah, Radha, no, that's okay. But I think the timer can actually switch off, and rather there should be an option now to try. There should be a multiple share screen option share window.
Can you now?
No, I don't think.
Yes, I can. Okay, sure. Thanks. So we can start timer. Yeah. So I will not able to see the timer screen for now. How will you indicate me?
Can you pin your timer? You can pin a timer.
Maybe can she put it into grid mode, gallery view, and be able to view the timer?
Just a second. Yeah, it's a gallery mode, and I'm unable to see any.
But I think the timer will have to show something for
Yes.
Sonika to look at it.
Yes, I will show it on my phone. Okay, it's okay.
Okay. Yeah, should be fine.
Okay, sure. Thank you, everyone. So, good evening, everyone. So, what is leadership? Leadership is derived from a word called leader. Now, who is a leader? He's someone who leads a situation by an example, or we can say by setting an example through coaching, mentoring, guiding, and upskilling. In corporate, people usually misunderstand it by a manager. True leader can actually change and enforce a great change through his or her communication skills, management skills, and understanding of the psychology of the people they are dealing with. If we look at the history and people in our daily interactions, we will identify different people having different leadership styles, followed by, you know, different purpose and perspectives to it. Like we have a classic example is Donald Trump and Obama. Both were the president of America, but both had different leadership styles, right? There are multiple leadership styles that we have right now, which were identified and documented by the researchers in the books and different blogs. But what I have, after reading them all, what I have understood that there is one leadership theory developed by the Levins in 1930 form as a base for all of them. So under this foundation model, they have basically identified three kind of leaderships. One is the autocratic model of leadership, which says that leaders are usually authoritative in their action. They order their action items without consulting with their teams, and though it is demoralizing, but in the situation of urgency, it definitely helps to take quick actions. The second leadership model is democratic. In this set of leadership, the final decisions are taken by the leaders, but they always involve their team members to take decisions while making any changes or any kind of intervention or even in the execution. It definitely encourages creativity, engagement, job satisfaction, and high productivity. And the third is delegative. In delegative, the leaders show complete confidence and trust in the team. They give freedom to their team with respect to the execution and finalizing the deadlines. Leaders get involved only in the need of resources or wherever the advisory is required. Now, which leadership style is better? Uh, in my opinion, the best leadership style is is nothing. It is completely situational. It depends upon the situation, depending on which environment you are in and which kind of person you are handling. Let me share my screen to, make you understand in a better way. If you look at this grid, right, just concentrate here and on my words. If you're handling any inexperienced subordinate during a situation of crisis and changing environment, authoritarian leadership style is something which should be followed. Whereas with the same inexperienced subordinate in a stable environment, we can trust and follow participative leadership model. Similarly, while dealing with capable subordinates during the environment of crisis, we should follow authoritarian leadership style. And in the environment, in the changing environment, in a stable environment, it is completely fine to follow a participative model. Whereas dealing with expert subordinates in a stable environment, we completely trust them and follow a delegative type of leadership where we give them all the freedom to take decision, set timelines, because the person is also expert as well as the environment is also stable, so there is no risk involved, and the subordinate is also experienced. Whereas it needs to be participative in case of crisis and changing environment, because risk increases there. So there is no one right style of leadership. It all depends on the situation and the scenario we are dealing. So timer can share the screen. That's all right. I'm done with the screen sharing. Moving on to my speech, continuing my speech. Uh, Let me share one real life example that you will able to easily resonate. And so I hope all of you had seen a Bollywood movie named as Chak De India, where Shah Rukh Khan is the hero, and he's actually leading a Indian hockey team of women. It's a classic example of all these three leadership style. If you just go back to that movie and think, in the phase one of that movie, the phase one of that movie was a classic example of autocratic model where Mr. Khan is actually dominating and showing his complete authority over the team, and all of us know the repercussions. The complete was completely disengaged, exhausted, and demotivated, right? In the phase two of that movie, where the complete team asked the Mr. Khan to resign from his position, he just played a trick. He took the complete team for a lunch. He created a crisis situation where he didn't intervene. He let the team handle and overcome the whole scenario. In a way, he imbibed an unsaid message and an understanding within the team and with the team. So this is called a delegative form of leadership. And the phase three, the most successful one, is the democratic one, where he actually involves the complete team and gains the trust and commitment. And all of us know the happy ending, where the complete team wins, right? So, with this, I also bring end to my speech with a classic example, real life example of leadership style. So, stay balanced with respect to following any kind of leadership. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Toastmaster Sonika, for that interesting understanding of leaderships. I myself have learned some important things about leadership styles, and has given me some food for thought about such important topics. Let us pause for 30 seconds to write feedback for the speaker. Please share your feedback privately only with the speaker using the chat feature. Okay, so let's start with our third speaker, who will be attempting level 1, project 3 in dynamic leadership. The evaluator for the speech is Toastmaster Parijat. I request Toastmaster Parijat to read out the objectives of the speech.
Good evening, everyone. So the purpose of Toastmaster Subodh's speech today is around researching and presenting. The purpose is for the member to learn or review basic research methods and present a well-organized, well-researched speech on any topic of his choice. The time sequence for this speech is 5 to 7 minutes, 5 green, 6 yellow, 7 red, and 7.5 for the buzzer. So all the best, Subodh. Back to you, Toastmaster Shlok.
Thanks, Parijat. The speaker is a software professional whose real joy is to listen to music. Let's welcome Toastmaster Subodh with his speech, Our Star, the Sun.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, for the welcome. Hope I am visible and audible. I will be sharing my screen and I will start timer on my side as well. But once I stop sharing my screen, timer can share their screen as well. Okay. So let's.
So then request, I think, let's request then timer to stop, because otherwise the audience will not be able to see your screen.
Okay.
And so both, I think, if you are going to move around, you can actually remove your virtual background as well. Otherwise, your movements will not be visible.
No, I'm not going to move around. So, yeah. Thank you. Do you know that the world is suffering from a pandemic? No, I'm not talking about COVID 2019. I'm talking about a silent but severe, and at the same time, this pandemic was present from past many decades. I'm talking about vitamin D deficiency. Despite being located near the equator, about 70 to 80% of Indian population are vitamin D deficient. Toastmaster of the Day, fellow Toastmasters and guests. In 2018, I underwent a blood test and I was shocked to see that my vitamin D level is severely low. I was under the misconception that my diet was a balanced diet. I found out that an average adult of my age requires around 800 units of vitamin D, but my diet was providing only 10 to 20% of that. Vitamin D is very rare and inadequate in food sources, and using vitamin D supplements was out of option for me. So I decided to use sunlight as the best form of vitamin D. So I started researching for sunlight and the best ways to get sunlight from sunlight, and I found out that apart from vitamin D, sun provides lot many health benefits, and that too for free. Sunlight is the ultimate nutrient, and here are many reasons for that. First, it improves our mental health. There is adequate research for this. There is adequate research that says that sunlight reduces anxiety, depression, and mood disorders. Sunlight increases serotonin level in our brain. Serotonin is one of the 4 happy hormones in our body. Other 3 are dopamine, oxytocin, and endorphin. It also indicates a possibility of a relation that uh, that people not getting enough sunlight and the rise of mental disorders. Sunlight improves sleep quality. Yeah. Sunlight lowers or halts the sleep hormone, that is melatonin, during the day. And that is why during the night, the halted melatonin kicks off and we get a better sleep quality. According to the researchers at Edinburgh University, it is found that the UV light present in sunlight encourages the nitric oxide production and helps to balance our blood pressure. Continued and consistent sunlight exposure over a period of time reduces the blood pressure by around 10 points, and thus it helps to improve our heart health and helps to live longer. Sunlight is a natural disinfectant and a natural detoxifier. Not only sunlight fights with viruses, bacteria, and fungi, but also it strengthens our inner immune system and also helps us to fight all infections. We all know that vitamin D increases our bone strength, right? On top of that, sunlight also increases bone mass density, which reduces the risk of fractures significantly. There is adequate research around sunlight, which reduces the risk of having metabolism diseases like obesity and type 2 diabetes. There is also ongoing research which states that sunlight may reduce the risk of cancers in the future. It is also been shown that in one of the research that sunlight uh, plays prime role in reducing the all-cause mortality rate in humans. And I believe that there are many benefits of sunlight that are not yet discovered. To get the best benefit from sun, we should take sun bath. Sun bath means sunlight exposure by wearing less clothes or wearing white cotton clothes. Historically, it is said that we should take sun bath in the morning after sunrise or in the evening before sunset. But recent studies have shown that sunlight contains UVA radiations and UVB radiations. And for vitamin D synthesis, only UVB radiations are required. And these UVB radiations are not available in the morning or in the evening. UVB radiations are available only during the afternoon period. So that is why the ideal time for vitamin D is between 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Just 20 to 30 minutes a day is enough to fulfill our daily requirement of vitamin D. More than that can cause skin tanning or skin burning based on your skin type. Optionally, you can also consider using a D-Minder app. It's recommended by many scientists. This D-Minder app, based on your location, reminds you about solar noon time. Solar noon time is the peak time where you can get maximum D production in your skin. Along with that, D-Minder app also tracks real-time vitamin D production in your skin by considering various factors like your amount of exposed skin, your skin type, your age, your weight, and weather conditions as well, like cloud overcast. Because all these factors impacts the vitamin D production. The darker you are, the more time you take to create vitamin D. The older you are, the more time it will take to create vitamin D. So it helps to track the vitamin D production using D-Minder app. And please note that we should never wear sunscreen or sunglasses during sunbathing because sunscreen obviously blocks the vitamin D creation, and sunglasses blocks the melatonin production in our skin, which contradicts with the process of vitamin D production in our skin. Moderate exposure to sunlight on a daily basis has magical benefits on overall health of human beings. Sunlight is a lifestyle medicine. And that is why it is treated as divine and followed in many cultures and religions. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Yeah, sorry. I'll be sure to be out in the sun more, Subodh. I do feel I've become as pale as a vampire in the last few months. And your speech has provided with even more reason to go out and enjoy a little thing such as the sun. Let us pause for 30 seconds to write feedback for the speaker. Please share your feedback privately, only with the speaker using the chat feature. Okay, now that we've finished today's wonderful prepared speeches, let's have the timers report now. Toastmaster Shweta, can you give us the precise timings for all three speeches?
Yes. Toastmaster Shivani took 6 minutes 56 seconds. Toastmaster Sonika took 7 minutes 28 seconds, and Toastmaster Subodh took 7 minutes 34 seconds. Toastmaster Shivani and Sonika are qualified for the voting.
Okay, then let us cast our votes for best speaker. Toastmasters Shivani and Sonika have qualified for the vote. Please use the poll feature to cast your vote. So before we start with our second section, which is taped impromptu speaking, let me tell a bit more about my experience with these appreciating these little things. Our direct surroundings are often the most overlooked, as sometimes they give us the most surprises. For example, just before this meeting, right above my desk, I saw scribbled in bad handwriting in permanent marker was my own name. I don't remember writing this, but it must have been during the 14 years I have lived in this house. And it seemed that I don't know why I would have done such thing, but even seeing such a little thing made me feel at home with this place, as this is my home and this is where I've grown up. These little things around you, they give this sense of homeliness, of understanding between you. And I really do believe that it does make me feel more homely at my own house. More things such as this remind me, like the other day when guests came over, I'm an uncle of a little kid, 5-year-old kid, and he was playing with these cars I had when I was younger. And just looking at these cars just reminded me how, like, these cars and toys like this used to provide me with so much joy. And I do believe that childhood memories like this make make you believe that what make you remember that such little things exist in adulthood too, which I do appreciate. Does Is there anything else anyone's noticed recently about their direct surroundings? Please take 10 seconds to look around and think of something. Okay, time's up. Has anyone noticed something very small that they would like to share?
You need to pick a name and then people will share.
Okay, wait. Let us try one of the guests. Uh, Wait, where is our guest? It's
Akshay?
okay. Akshay is okay. He was there. Akshay, guest Akshay. Uh, Akshay, are you there?
Okay, let me share things. I mean, I did a lot of openings and I shared so many little things that I appreciate. Earlier, when I used to be in the kitchen and do the cooking, I used to think about how after dinner I'm going to get into Netflix and do the binge watching. But now when I'm in the kitchen, I be in the kitchen and when I'm cooking, I am with that sabzi that I'm cooking, those either saute vegetable or even the chapatis that I'm making. I am in there in that moment doing it without thinking. After the whole exercise of kitchen, I'm gonna go and do the binge watching. So I've been watching things in the kitchen and appreciating that I do have these things which I never had in my bachelor life, and now have everything, every piece of crockery that I wanted. So let's be appreciative and enjoy this moment of cooking. All my life, being a young lady, I wanted this fancy kitchen. Now that I have a fancy kitchen, I should be enjoying my fancy kitchen and not thinking about something next, which is not even there. I haven't even embarked there.
That was actually a really good story. Like I myself struggle to live in the moment, even though I'm talking about other things, and that has made me think about enjoying things in the moment as well. Okay, with that, let's start with the second part of our first section, which is impromptu speaking skills. This is divided into two sections, one being the table topics, where people are chosen to speak on a given topic for 1 to 2 minutes, and the second being the round robin, where everyone will speak for 15 seconds. Our table topics master of today is the person who just spoke, and our very own presiding officer, who enjoys little joy which comes from crafting her own speeches. Let's appreciate our table topics master, Toastmaster Radha.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shlok. I'm your table topic master today, and exactly like how Shlok has explained, that we have two sections here. The first half, we are going to play this round robin where I will be singing a song. So the purpose of doing this round robin is to get everybody inclusive in this spoken ability and perform then and there. The second part of it is more of impromptu speaking, where I will be sharing a speech title with the chosen people. I'm going to pick and choose, and we will they will be speaking for a minute minimum and 2.5 minutes as a maximum. What it does, impromptu speaking, is brings out your listening skill, your thinking, your organizing, and then delivering on the spot. Let's begin with our first round robin. Like I explained, that I wanted to bring a little twist in this, and I am going to sing a song which I like singing, and purpose is you can just bringing any sentence that you want, just have a rhythm in it. I just want some rhythm in your sentence. I do not care what do you want to say, but sing in a rhythm. And the way it is going to move forward is I will be tapping a person. So if I tap Shlok, Shlok has to say a couple of lines in the rhythm, and then Shlok has to tap next person, and that person has to sing for 15 seconds. Timer has to share the screen for 15 seconds. Please do not tap Shweta until the very end. Shweta should be the last person to finish this session. So let's begin. I hope my throat cooperates. I'm going to get the lyrics out here. Okay, it's the song called Count on Me by Bruno Mars. If you ever find yourself stuck in the middle of the sea, I'll sail the world to find you. If you ever find yourself lost in the dark and you can't see, I'll be the light to guide you. We'll find what we're made of when we're called to help our friends in need. You can count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And you know when I need it, I can count on you like 4, 3, 2, you'll be there. Tap Toastmaster Shlok.
Uh, if you ever find yourself stuck in the middle and you can't see,
Okay, hang on. Shlok, you can say any sentence. Anything.
Yeah, but I know the song, so it's coming in my head.
Okay, cool. Okay.
Okay. I tap Parijat. I know it's 50 seconds over.
Oh, is it? Okay. So if you don't see me, then you have to count me But for that, you need to see so many people, and that is going to be so much difficult. And that is what will take so much time. And you keep counting. And I know maths, I can keep counting and we'll reach some number and we transfer it back to Vibha.
Okay. If you are stuck somewhere, if you have no way, if you need some suggestion, need some mentoring, you can count on me. That's it.
Vibha, you
Tap Sonika.
So I'm in Delhi and it's so chilling and I'm counting on heaters, and even we amount of cold water is so chilling and it is making my life so hell. Tap Santosh.
Well, we do not like we think in our life, and we always like larger and counting on big thing. Tap to Subodh.
Count on me, count on me. Everybody here. Count on me, count on me. Everybody here. Tap Tushar.
It's like always stuck in a second gear. I'll be there for you. When the rain starts to pour, I'll be there for you. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I remember.
tap next person.
Tap Toastmaster Shivani.
Even I thought the same song. No one told you life was gonna be this way. Your joke with the joke. You're broke. I'll be there for you when the rain starts to pour. I'll be there for you like I've been there always. I tap. Who is left? I tap Akshay. Akshay.
We have also Jitin. You can tap Jitin.
Okay, Jitin.
Long time ago in Kerala, there was a guy born called Jitin. He was a smart and cute boy, little boy, and now grown up to a man. Please put your hands and sing for him. Yeah, that's it.
You want to tap next person who's not?
Who is left now?
Shweta only.
To Shweta.
Shweta, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, I am not getting what to say. I'm ending this session with thank you.
Okay, that's bring our session to an end. Thank you so much for being so participative and bringing this new challenge that I brought in place to a new energy and making it really jolly. With this, I pass the hand over back to the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Shlok.
We have time for table topics, right?
No, after the break.
Oh, okay. Sorry. sorry. My mistake. Okay, let's have a break for 2 minutes before we start with this.
Yes.
With the table topic section.
Yes, welcome back. And now I'd like to pick the speakers of my choice. And the first one is going to be Tushar. Tushar, I haven't heard you in the recent meetings, so let's hear from you. Let's put a spotlight on Tushar and I'll give you a topic. It's just that you have to speak on the topic that I tell you to. And your topic is? Poverty is a state of mind.
Sure, we can start.
Timer. Yes.
Poverty is something that doesn't come naturally. You are just, let's say someone says that you are born poor, but it's in your state that how you make the life best out of it. And it's something that not about the materialistic things. Poverty can be removed by having control over your mind, your habits, that you take over the life or the charge on. It could be something that you develop the habit of something that you don't desire to be. Like Buddha says, you want, if you want peace in your life, you control over the materialistic things. I think that's pretty much it. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Tushar. Now I would like to go inky, pinky, poinky. Okay. Toastmaster Vibha. Toastmaster Vibha?
Yes, Toastmaster Radha.
Your title is... Yeah. Poor health begins in the mind. I repeat, poor health begins in the mind.
Okay. So like, there is a poor statement, what we think we become. So as the topic says, poor health, sorry, could you please repeat again?
Poor health begins in mind.
Poor health begins in mind. I have seen people in my life who are struggling with very rare diseases, even the diseases which are not curable. But body has its own way of healing itself. It's not only the medicines, but the spiritual healing that sometimes help incurable diseases to heal. Diseases like cancer, diseases like SLE, lupus, I have seen people who cured themselves just because they have this positivity in their mind, in their brains. They thought positive and consequently their body helped them to struggle or to fight with the viruses they are facing inside their body. So yep, that's a true saying that if you want to get healed, no one can ever stop you. Even the diseases cannot stop you. Yeah, that's it from my end. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vibha. Now my last pick is Toastmaster Parijat. Toastmaster Parijat?
Yes.
Yes, you ready?
Yes.
Okay. So your topic is, it's better to be influential than rich. It's better to be influential than rich.
How many of you would respect Mahatma Gandhi versus the Queen Elizabeth? Mahatma Gandhi, how many people? When we look at how your life or what your life means, there are many meanings that we assign. Some put it towards wealth, the materialistic gains of what kind of house, what kind of job, what kind of titles, what do you do? And that importance is what keeps us driven. And then there are other set of people who look at how they can help others in life, how they can improve or make others' lives better. And they become thought leaders. They derive the thought processes of the entire society, perhaps the generations, and even going beyond of the future generations as well. So if you look at Mahatma Gandhi there, he was a very normal Indian, perhaps not even rich. And as a lot of us recall his image, he was wearing dhoti, he was using a stick to walk around. And but his thought process, the way that he used to write, the way he used to communicate, the way he used to think about everyone, not in the current generation but even future generation, that left all of us influenced by that thinking. Even today our currency notes, which is the indicator of material gain, is actually carrying a photograph of a person who was not rich but influential. So that's why, my friends, I believe being influential is what matters most than being rich. Over to you, Table Topic Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Parijat. Your fascination about these influential as well as the wealthy leaders clearly was very well put in your speech. It was quite evident to see that where your influence in your professional and personal life is coming from. With this, let's bring our session to an end, and we'd like to move towards the voting. Are we ready for the voting, or shall we just give it a minute? Santosh?
I think we can, like, if there are
First,
more people and more topic, you can do it. I think we have time.
Do we have time? Okay, so let me pick one more person. Shweta, on the spot. Let's get your nerves more shaky. Let's get your nerves more shaky by putting you on spotlight. That's how we learn. Are you there, Shweta?
Yes.
Yes, good. Okay. So your topic, Shweta, is my biggest concern for the future is. My biggest concern for the future is.
Okay. So as the time goes, we are doing work from home. So there are biggest challenges we are facing. According to new opportunities, there are in above situation we can see so many opportunities we can follow up or not, but nowadays we have to take all the things in mind regarding traveling or something else. So if I want to do something, so I need to take with all these things in consideration, and how to move on this side. But it takes maximum times, as the things before lockdown uh, we can do without any hesitation or without any negative thinking or without any possibilities, negative possibilities. But nowadays we have to follow all these things to move on something to do. So thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shweta. Okay, let's call out for timer's report. Are you ready to share the timer's report, Toastmaster Shweta? I know you're wearing a double hat today.
Yes. So, time taken by Toastmaster Tushar is 1 minute 15 seconds. Time taken by Toastmaster Vibha is 1 minute 31 seconds. Time taken by Toastmaster Parijat is 2 minutes 7 seconds. Time taken Toastmaster Shweta is 1 minute 24 seconds.
And all qualify.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Let's ask audience to vote for the best table topic speaker. Thank you. Yep, we're done. We can move ahead.
That was actually pretty wonderful. Amazing topics, Toastmaster Radha. And everyone who spoke, you spoke amazingly. It was very interesting to hear your perspectives on things. So let's take a bit of a detour just before we start our evaluation session. Small things which we appreciate aren't always places or things, but people themselves. Each person is unique with a million different quirks for about the 7.5 billion people which are present on this earth. This combination of quirks makes everyone special in their own right, and it's up to everyone else to notice this specialness. An example I can think of is my own mom, who has one of the funniest quirks for me, which I find very endearing. Every time someone says a funny joke and before she starts laughing, there's this quick little silent snort, which is so funny for the rest of the family. And it just makes it more adorable and endearing. And these kind of quirks in people, they provide this sense of honesty and joy, which you'll find nowhere else. And it's usually in your loved ones where you see these quirks. I would like to ask if anyone else has noticed these kind of quirks in any loved ones, be it a person or a pet. I would, since I want to ask Jitin to answer this, if he has noticed any quirks like this.
Sorry, Shlok, I couldn't listen to your question. Can you just repeat?
What kind of quirks have you seen in a loved one of yours, which you find very endearing?
Can you repeat it again? Sorry, I still didn't.
Or which type of quirks or do you find endearing in a loved one of yours?
Oh. I don't know. It's a very tricky one, but I don't know, really.
Just say anything, it's fine.
Maybe compassion.
Okay, that's brilliant. Okay, I'll ask one more person. How about Toastmaster Shivani?
Yeah, so every night, whenever the clock strikes at 10, my father comes to my bedroom and asks me in a very anger tone, basically, go to sleep. Burn of seeing that laptop every time. Just go and have some sleep. So that little gesture which he provides while he goes to sleep is something that is very adorable to me.
Thanks for sharing that with us. That was actually really nice. Okay, so let's continue on. To help us understand the small ways we may have made mistakes in our speeches and to help us improve our speeches in general, let us start with the evaluation portion of the meet. Then we call upon our general evaluator, who's keeping track of every little goings on in our meeting. She's an application developer at ThoughtWorks, and her little joy these days is to teach her mom painting, which makes her very happy. Let me introduce Toastmaster Vibha.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shlok. Am I audible and visible?
Yes.
Great. Yeah. So this is Toastmaster Vibha playing the role of general evaluator for today's meeting. And as a journal evaluator, my task is to help evaluate prepared speeches and the meeting in general. This section is divided into two parts, wherein the first part, the evaluators are going to evaluate the prepared speeches. Make a note, prepared speeches, not the speakers. The timing sequence for this round is 2 to 3 minutes. So a green card will be shown at 2, yellow at 2:30, red at 3, and a 30-second grace, after which you'll be disqualified for the voting. After that, we'll be having a role player report, and post that we'll have a general report related to the meeting of my point of view. So let's begin with the first round of this session, that is evaluation round. And to begin with, I would like to request Toastmaster Tushar to evaluate Toastmaster Shivani's speech. Over to you, Toastmaster Tushar.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Vibha. Can I see the timer sequence? Yes. I can see. I'm going to start. The best way to build or to stop a bad habit is to never begin it, says JC Penny. Fellow Toastmasters and future Toastmasters, good evening, and a special evening to Toastmaster Shivani. Your speech objective was to apply feedback received from your first speech. And as I noticed, you did apply all the feedback that you received, which was to take apt pauses in between sentences where it was required. And you not just marveled in that, but you also took another feedback, which was not to refer any notes during your speech. And even if you were referring to it, it didn't occur to me and it came out so naturally. Now, something that I love about your speech, and as you started your speech with a personal note that people could relate to, and stating a strong statement that habits forms the basic behavior. And today, you develop this habit of taking a baby steps to giant stride by delivering a speech by standing, which proves that continuous effort is the key to unlock our potential. The second thing that I love about your speech, as I heard, and the effort that you took by conjoining the vocal variety and proper hand gestures when you were speaking back in the time, and by speaking slower in those parts where you felt disheartened and louder where you felt or you were trying to make a point. So commendable job on that. Now, a few things that I feel that if you're going to achieve excellence in big things, you develop a habit in little things. And in Toastmasters, achieving excellence in big things through little recommendations. As you were progressing in the speech, I felt there were instances where you were trying to remember the content, because of which you end up repeating few sentences again in order to avoid that. So in order to avoid, you can always add your personal touch to your story, so that way you don't have to remember the entire content of the speech. The second recommendation that I have for you is that when you took command on the stage, I felt you were too crammed up in your space, and your hand gestures were quite limited to that specific vicinity. You have a big stage area where you could utilize while transitioning in your speech and let loose. Nonetheless, congratulations for attempting the speech by standing. Overall, to summarize, on reflecting the feedback that you received from your first speech and working towards it with adding your own style of nonverbal communication. If you could add some more personal stories and let loose on the stage, you're already making a mark in Toastmaster journey. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Tushar. Now, moving forward, I request Toastmaster Jitin to come on the virtual stage and evaluate Toastmaster Sonika's speech. Over to you, Toastmaster Jitin.
Yeah. Every decision you make reflects your evaluation of who you are, said Mariana Williamson. A warm good evening to all the Toastmasters and future Toastmasters, and a special good evening to Toastmaster Sonika, who had put up a great speech on the stage. What a wonderful beginning, or you had opened up a speech with a great opening for making us understand what are the significance of a leader as well as his key characteristics. I really enjoyed the way you put up the example between Trump and Obama. And of course, then slowly or you gradually transitioned into the key part of your speech, that is to discuss about the different models of a leader, like autocratic, democratic, and delegative. So all these aspects were defined or discussed really very well. And now, and of course, you had maintained your composure and a smiling face all throughout the face, which reflected your confidence all throughout the speech. Also, the sentence structures as well as content was really a joy to watch as well. Now, any evaluation is not complete without some points of improvement. So a few points like I just had noted down the intervention in between the speech, especially with the timer, because this is a formal speech you are making into the audience, and it distracts to have a conversation with any of the uh, uh, timer or any role players in that. So that was one point I noted down. And again, now moving on to the objectives of the speech, that is where I want to stress here, of course, because the objective of the speech was to identify the primary leadership skills. So for this, there is a survey or a questionnaire what is given in the base camp, in which you will, at the end of the survey, you will come to a understanding or a conclusion on what is your specific style of leadership is. So, and with the real examples, you could have also explained what is your type of leadership and how it is applicable in your life. So that was something what I thought could have done in a better way. Although you had explained the general leadership aspects with the chart as well as different contexts, that was really informative and apt to the point. But if you could identify your leadership style and explain it to the audience in a more interesting way, I think this would have given greater impact. So that's all from my side. If you can implement few of these comments, of course, the presentation is really good. Only with respect to the project objectives, there is a big scope of improvement. Thank you, or to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Jitin. Now, coming to the last evaluation, I would like to request Toastmaster Parijat to come on virtual stage and evaluate Toastmaster Subodh's speech. Over to you, Toastmaster Parijat.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vibha. Timer, you can start. 20 minutes of sunlight every day can change your life. Thank you, Toastmaster Subodh, for informing us on the importance of this little thing in our life, the sunlight. I really loved the way that you started your speech and blended your personal story of having a deficiency of vitamin D and establishing the fact that we can count on sun for covering the deficiency of vitamin D. Great job there. Throughout your speech, you were maintaining a great eye contact with the audience that ensured that we have trust and we are able to listen to you, because this was an informational speech and we need to see it directly coming from you and you're not kind of looking at somewhere else. So I think that also helped me connect with what you were conveying, because this speech of yours was full of facts. The most important thing that I enjoyed in your speech was the way that you began your speech. You blended variety of techniques to make your beginning very interesting. You asked a question: do you know about the pandemic that we are suffering from, or that we are witnessing? You use that word pandemic, which relates to the current circumstance, and that's the Webster word of the year. So it's something that everyone can connect to. And also, then you put in that twist, that shock, by saying, no, it's not Corona, because all of us were thinking about Corona. And then you took us in the other way and said, no, it's about vitamin D, which a lot of us are suffering from and which we may not even know about. So I think that was something which was highlight of the speech for me. But as the life is full of little things, your speech can also bring in little elements which can take your speech to the next level. The first and the most important one is about the structure of the speech. Typically, we should limit the key points to just 3 or 4 so that audience can follow. In your speech, what I would have recommended is to maybe limit it to just saying what is vitamin D deficiency, why it is important, how sun can provide that, and what are the good practices about it, and how we as individuals can practice and do that. If that kind of a structure could have made us connect and distinguish the points very clearly. The second one was about the voice and the pauses. When you started, if you would have used voice by saying, do you know about this pandemic? No, it's not corona. That would have left us with so much of impact with the same statement, same script, but lot more impact. What I would recommend you overall is that if you continue with such great topics that you thought about and bring in these elements of voice and great writing, that could really take your speech to the next level. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Prashant. Parijat, extremely sorry. Yep. Wonderful evaluations, and I'm damn sure that all the speakers can count on your evaluations and the recommendations given. Now, moving ahead, let's move towards the second round of the evaluation session, that is the role players report. And to start with, I would like to call Toastmaster Santosh with his report as an R counter. Over to you, Toastmaster Santosh.
Thank you. Thank you, General Evaluator, Toastmaster Viva. And again, good evening, fellow Toastmaster, and if there is any guest. So as a counter, I am presenting my report. And in my report, I am considering 3 things: crush sound, filler word, and filler phrases. So Toastmaster Sweta used crush sound more than 5, less than 5 filler word, and no filler phrases. Toastmaster Shlok, till now, you use less than 5 crush sound, less than 5 filler word, and no filler phrase. Toastmaster Sonali, you use more than 5 time crush sound, less than 5 time filler word, and less than 5 time filler phrase. Toastmaster Subodh, use more than 5 time crush sound, less than 5 time filler word, and no filler phrase. Toastmaster Viva, till now, you used more than 5 time crush sound, less than 5 time filler word, and no filler phrase. Toastmaster Jitin, you used less than 5 time filler word, more than 5 time filler phrase, filler crush sound, and no filler phrase. Toastmaster Radha, Toastmaster Tushar, Toastmaster Shivani, and Toastmaster Parjat are flawless speaker. So congratulations for all flawless speaker and everyone who consider these speaking error not to in their speaking. Over to General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Santosh. Just be there on the virtual stage because I'm going to call you again for the grammarian round, grammarian report. So over to you, Toastmaster Santosh, again.
Yeah, thank you very much. And I am again I'm presenting my language reports. So as we have today two small word, because as per theme, we and countdown. I'm very happy to see that most of us, we use that one. So Radha, Toastmaster Radha use we word of day 1 time. Toastmaster Sonika use 1 time word of day and 2 time phrase of day. Toastmaster Parijat, you used 2 time phrase of day. Toastmaster Viva used 2 time phrase of day. Toastmaster Subodh used 3 time phrase of day. And Toastmaster Santosh use one time word of day and phrase of day. And today, not so good uses. Someone said that it is also being shown, but in context of the sentence, it could be it has been also shown. Someone use 2 to 30 minutes is enough. It could be 2 to 30 minutes are enough, because 2 to 30 is plural things. Someone said, when I was in kitchen, I doing the cooking. If we check this sentence in academic or language wise, so this is a compound sentence. So it could be, when I was in kitchen while doing my cooking. In pronunciation point of view, someone said content. So it is related to regional pronunciation effect. So content in place of content. So good uses, lot of good uses I noted here, and presenting some, I'm trying to best to good uses in the meeting. First, appreciation, nurturing, stack desire, releasing, pouring, incredible, tiny details, automatic behavior, obvious pain point, social validation, enforce, recursion, imbibe, educate, embark, fascinating, evident, adorable, and conjoining. With this, that I'm over to general evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Santosh. Now, I would like to call the timer to give the timer's report for the evaluations.
Yes. Toastmaster time taken by Toastmaster Tushar is 3 minutes 17 seconds. Time taken by Toastmaster Jitin is 3 minutes 4 seconds. Time taken by Parijat 3 minutes 36 seconds. Toastmaster Tushar and Toastmaster Jitin are qualified for the voting.
Okay, great. So may I request the Sergeant at Arms to launch the poll, and I request everyone to vote for the best evaluator. Great. So
Yes.
now it's the time for my report on throughout the meeting, my observations and findings. So let me begin with the first role player of the meeting, that is Sergeant at Arms. So Toastmaster Shweta, you started on time. You have read the mission and the rules of the meeting very appropriately. The best thing, so you have spoken for around 2 minutes, but the time allotted for this role is around 3 minutes. So I would like to recommend you to utilize the complete amount time allotted to you for this role. Rest, you were on time, you started on time, everything was, the rules were crisp and appropriate. Job well done, Toastmaster Shweta. Moving ahead to Toastmaster Shweta as a timer's role. So as you did not get chance to spoke or give your introduction in the meeting, as we have missed that section. So rest, your report was crisp. You have mentioned who all are qualified, who are not qualified, and you have done your job sincerely. So kudos to you. Moving ahead to the counter report, Toastmaster Santosh. Yes, you have explained the role well. One recommendation I would like to say, like as for this role also, we have missed asking for the introduction of the counter. So it would have been better if you could spoke somewhat something about the format, what are the crutch words, what are the filler words, as it wouldn't have been clear to the guest, uh, whoever is attending the meeting. Rest, the report was crisp. You have talked each person's name individually and given report to it. So job well done. Coming to grammarian's report, Toastmaster Santosh, you have explained the role well. The word of the day and phrase of the day was really somewhat related to the theme, and many people have used it during the meeting. You have also shared the word of the day and phrase of the day on the chat window. That's a commendable job. You have told us the word of the day, phrase of the day, good uses, not so good uses, and use the sandwiched approach, CRC approach. So kudos to you, Toastmaster Santosh, for that. Now, coming to the table topic master, Toastmaster Radha. Are you there, Toastmaster Radha?
Yes, I'm back.
Great. Okay, nice. So yes, you have explained the role and benefits of this round very well, even for round robin and table topic master round. The topics were very easy to means they were related to perception, each person's perception, so they need not to think more on that. Were quite clear, and you have explained the LTOD concept as well, and you have come up with a very different or innovative way of round robin that was really amazing. First time I have seen someone doing or singing during round robin. So kudos to you, wonderful job as a table topic master. And next, coming to presidential address. So yes, as always, you were very energetic. You have checked the guest list, take their introductions. You have also tell them about the benefits of Toastmaster and some of the unknown facts about Toastmasters, some statistics around there. So that was really amazing. You have also introduced VP membership to the guests so that they can, in future, they can communicate directly with the VP membership. And moving ahead, you also gave your prelude about the theme. You have also shared a story around it so that can build up the context of the meeting. So job exceptionally well done. Job well done. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Radha. Coming to the evaluators round. So all the evaluators, they have used the CRS approach, that is commendation, recommendation, and summarization. So the recommendation is sandwiched between commendation and summarization, so that format all the evaluators have used, and they have used it exceptionally well. The recommendation were quite clear and crisp, that would definitely gonna help the speakers in their future speeches. So all good, everyone, all the evaluators, they just balance the timings accordingly, and they have done the job exceptionally well. So kudos to you, all the evaluators. Now coming to the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Shlok. So the theme was extremely well, Toastmaster Shlok. You were not just the Toastmaster of the day, you were the Toastmaster of the week. You have keep on asking members to take up role in the meeting. You were asking questions. You were asking people to share their stories, their little things which they cherish in their life. So that was a commendable job done, Toastmaster Shlok, in that aspects. Now coming towards the meeting, so you have missed us. So I would like to recommend you to go through the role player script once or twice, so that you'll be more clear about the flow by which a TMOD goes through. So you have missed asking the introduction of timer and R counter. That was the part by which we introduce timer and the format the timer is going to use, and as same as the aha counter, like what are the crisp words, what are the filler words. Those are the main aspects or spelling errors which the role player introduce or talks about it. So we have missed that part in the meeting today. And I also feel that that the agenda was a bit delayed, so it has to be shared by Thursday. Whether the roles all the roles are filled or not, you can also share the drafted agenda on the chat group as well. Apart from that, you were confident during the speech, during your role as a toastmaster of the day. You have made the meeting really interactive. I don't think you have ever left any people to speak on the theme. I think one or two people must have means we have you have missed few people, but rest you have talked and let them talk about the themes as well. So that job well done. So all in all, you kept us hooked during the meeting with such an interesting and a lovely theme you have chosen. So overall, job well done. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shlok. So that's it from my end, and I had a great time participating in the meeting. So let us now applaud for all the role players and evaluators for their wonderful work today. And that was my report. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day. Thank you.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Toastmaster Vibha, for that great evaluation session. We will all be sure to remember all of these important points you have given us, and we will all keep them in mind for the next meetings. Now we will vote for the best role player of the day. Sergeant at Arms, could you put up the poll for the role player of the day?
Sure.
Okay. Okay, so before I sign off, I would like to give a few last pointers about the theme. Just uh, appreciating the little things in life is very important, and being grateful to them is even more so. There are a few pointers I would like to give so you can appreciate these little things. Take things slow. Life is at its best when you're observing, not just seeing. I do believe that I must take this advice myself, as I am one of the people who blazes through life impatiently. Be in the moment and don't forget to live. There may be something on the clock, but live every moment in that stress, as when it's over, you'll just be happier. Appreciate the little joys you do have, as you only know how much you'll miss them once they're gone. In the last year, we've all been stuck at home, wanting to go out and feel just a single ray of sun, as reminded to us by Toastmaster Subodh. In some ways, it has taught us to be more patient and enjoy the little things in life and live life to the fullest, and don't let these things go away. The little things in life are the simple things, and these simple oh and you might not notice these things until you're actually observing. And these simple things are actually some of the most joyous of all. At least that's what I believe. Life is at its best when it's at its simplest, but true beauty, that's in the details. Now, it's the moments of glory for some of us. Let's invite our presiding officer back to give away the awards, make announcements if any, and close the meeting. Please welcome back Toastmaster Radha on stage.
Would you want a pancake?
Um, Oh, what is that?
Yes.
We don't.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shlok. Thank you, everyone, for bringing in all the energy and the information right from the opening of SA. Toastmaster Shweta, thank you for accepting 2 roles when we asked for, as we were in short of the roles. I would like to extend my gratitude towards all of you that you've made this meeting possible because you've accepted some of the double roles. I really enjoyed listening to all the speakers, right from making a choice whether between a vitamin or a painkiller, then to your leadership style, and then further down to your vitamin D. Very informative speeches, thought provoking. I enjoyed watching each and every one of us, how we all are different yet on the same mission of becoming a better communicator, and appreciating the fact that we all are trying our best and leaving the judgment aside and not judging people by making those grammatical errors or the pronunciations that we use. We are here for the same purpose, and this one purpose is to become a better leader or become a better communicator, or even a leader, the type of leadership that you think you are, and keeping that judgment aside and be appreciative of the fact that you are sharing this platform with a small wee bit of a people or a large pool of people, doesn't matter. Meeting goes on and it moves on. So I thoroughly enjoyed, and I'd like to thank each one of you. Like Toastmaster Shlok said, that be appreciative of little things. What I would say is, whether it's the little things like a bike or a Ferrari, as big as Ferrari, you may have either. Appreciate both, because at one point you dreamt of Ferrari and now you have Ferrari. Once you get a Ferrari, you want a jet, or you want a plane, or you want the next thing in your life. But when you didn't had a Ferrari, when you only had a bike, you never live in the moment, enjoy the little things. That was the message that Toastmaster Shlok wanted to give all of us, and enlightened us with all the message. Let's now move on to the moment of glory. I'd like to share the screen without further ado, and I would not ask you to make guesses. Our best prepared speaker for this evening is no one else but Toastmaster Shivani. I'd like to request Toastmaster Vibha to please take a picture with Toastmaster Shivani.
Sure. 1 minute.
Thank you.
Is she only there and you can eliminate the rest? Can you do that?
Yeah, I can.
No, I think you, if you can just spotlight her, she should be able to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's done, Radha.
Great. Thank you. Let's move on to the next person. Table topic master, learning from person, influencer, leader like Mahatma Gandhi, Toastmaster Parijat. Thank you for showing us the way. Toastmaster Parijat, are you there?
I'm there.
Yes, I just need to just. Thank you.
Yep, done, Radha.
Oops. Congratulations, Toastmaster Tushar, for being the best evaluator as before.
Thank you.
Have you taken a picture for Toastmaster Tushar? He's not.
No, not yet.
Asked to start the video. He must be dancing in the background.
Anyways, he dances a lot. So
I haven't seen you performing, Tushar. We need some performance.
For milestone meeting, that should be the target, rather.
Did we do the best role player? Yes or no? Not yet, right? No, so then let's stop it there. And
Best role player.
yes, we did. That's why I typed in. I thought that, was that a mistake? Okay, yes. No, yeah. Can we have Shlok, please, on the screen? Guys, these things can happen in the background, so excuse me while you're preparing. Shlok on the spotlight?
No, Rana, not yet.
Not yet. Yeah, keep that cheerful. Yeah, cheese.
Yeah, now he is.
Congratulations, Toastmaster Shlok. Okay, we don't have any guest, so we can't get feedback. With this,
We have Pramod.
we have Pramod. Pramod is back. Pramod, how was your experience of the meeting? We would like to hear from you. We missed you for the second part, Pramod. If you could just share your feedback.
Yeah, thank you everyone for inviting me and pairing me. Actually, you guys are really good. The way you have structured this meeting, it's really awful, wonderful. And I would like to join your club as well. Actually, I'm Jitin's friend, and what I can say is you all were very good at your roles, and you appreciate each other very well. You are a good team, be as it is, and yeah, overall, it was a nice experience being here.
Great, thank you, guest Pramod. Maybe you can share your number with Toastmaster Vibha, and she'll get in touch with you sometime tomorrow or day after. Thank you.
Sure.
With that, I'll bring this meeting to an end. Meeting is adjourned. We can stay back for the fellowship if we want to.